Hey friends, I just learned something interesting the other day and I wanted to share it with you. I don't know if this will work because I've got my headphones in. I'm just going to do it anyways. So, did you know, okay, so I've always known, not always, but I've known for a long time that Utah, our original capital was in the middle of the state in a city called Fillmore. That's where the state capital was. I don't know for how long. I didn't research that in depth. But what I did research and was kind of shocked to learn, you might be surprised too, I don't know, maybe you already know this, that I asked AI, and AI originally said 34 or 35 maybe states have done that, have had original capitals and then they switched to a brand new location. And then I had Utah as not switching. And I am like, AI, what's up? Utah did switch. And the AI was like, oh yeah, whoopsies, you're right. Oh, it's more like close to 40 states. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys that are just going to AI and just asking your quick question or even just Google for your top search and you're using that as an answer, I don't want to be rude, but you're a moron. AI's wrong all the time. The moment you probe, it's just like anybody who makes a claim, like at a debate or when you're having a discussion about something really detailed, they make a claim. And then you probe and you dig and you ask questions. And a lot of times that claim can fall apart pretty quickly when you actually get to the nitty-gritty. So we've got to be probing these AIs. We've got to be going deeper than just our first blush, oh my gosh, what bugs are eating me? First blush question we have to probe. Anyhow, so yeah, so many, almost 40. If anybody can get me an exact number and a list, because I've seen a couple different lists. So that's why I'm like, I could go through the time and research each one. But anyway, so close to 40 of our 50 states have a different capital than the current capital. And you might just think, oh, so what? They just changed their mind. You can't really believe that. You can't be a thinking person with a critically thinking mind and actually just think, oh, it just happens that everyone just changed their mind and found something better. Dude, every state, their original capital, guarantee you go back and read their documents, their founding documents and whatnot, you will discover that the actual formulation of the state and its republic is still in that capital. That is the original and true capital of that state. So technically, Fillmore is still the capital of Utah. And what all the states did, just like the federal government did, is they corporatized. They created a brand new corporate entity to protect itself. And essentially all we have is the administrative executive state ruling on all three fronts. They own the judicial, they own the legislature. The executive branch rules and controls and finances all of it. We don't have three branches of government. Maybe that exists a little bit in the federal government. Certainly does not exist in your state. Maybe Texas does. I don't know, because I know Texas is a little bit more republic. They've always talked about seating, Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there, let you know that you might be living in a state whose capital is fake. It's just a corporate entity that's not real. That's not the real republic of that state. It's taken over as a corporate entity. It's essentially like a corporate takeover. And we the people are just so dumb. We're just so stupid. We just are born into it and we're like, okay, this is just how it's done. And we don't learn history. We don't learn truth. We don't learn real law. We don't even take the time to look at original documents anymore. The contemporaneous information that was there at the time. Just people's stories 50, 100 years later. That's not good. It's not good enough. I'm speaking in generalities there, but anyhow, so look into that. Think about the implications of that. I don't want to spell it out. Somebody spelled it out for me this week after I learned about that and the implications of such. But I don't want to say it here because I want people to use their own critical thinking skills and think about what that could mean. What are the ramifications of what was done? I'm going to guess probably in Utah, maybe the early 1900s, right? Yeah, it was like 1847, I think, is when we came to Utah. I don't know exactly when it became a state, but I bet when it became a state, Fillmore was the capital. And then I don't know how much longer, but it just became the thing that all the states went to corporatize, and it's all fake. It's all fake. And we just bow down to it and act as their slaves because it's easy. I mean, it is. It's easy. We're taken care of. We're essentially in the form of a trust. You have a grantor who creates the trust, or settlor. Then you have the trustees who kind of manage said trust, and then you have the beneficiaries / benefactors who get the benefits of the trust, but they don't have control of the trust. So we have all essentially have become, I think originally in America we were none of those. I mean, no, because obviously when we created the Constitution, that is a trust. So I don't know. Maybe we were still benefactors or beneficiaries right from the get-go. I think we were trustees. And we were supposed to rule. Of course, yes. Let me know what you think, but I think we were the trustees. And over time, through subterfuge and just propaganda, because the people at the top holding the puppet strings, they know how to control us. Because we're mostly stupid and we don't have time. And we're not deep thinkers. We just became, and it sounds awesome, and for a lot of people, they think it is awesome to be a beneficiary. And it is awesome to be the beneficiary, because then you just get the reward of said property without having to do the work, without having to earn it, really. And so we all just step into this role as beneficiaries of our state, of our country, of our nation, and we dole out like half of our earnings, and are like, okay, government, what else can I get from you now? And we get grants, and we get Social Security, and we get blah, 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 all the benefits that we get for bowing down to the system. And I think it is worth it to a lot of people. They probably get more than what they put in. I think a lot of people do. I think the number is actually pretty high for the amount of people who get benefited from being the beneficiary, and they don't really have to earn hardly anything for it. And this is not the system that the founding fathers of our country set up. Not even close. We were supposed to rule. We were supposed to be in control and in charge. And because of apathy, because of purposeful lack of education, we have just ceded our authority, given it away to the puppeteers, and I would say 80% or more have no clue that that's what's going on, or don't care at all. Why should it matter? How does that affect me? I don't care. So it is what it is. Okay, one more thing. So the U.S. did the same thing. What was the original capital of the United States of America? I should say it differently. What is the current and real capital of the United States of America? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I know there's the other side of this, which is like, well, they were all Masons and they were all worshiping Satan, and it was all fake to begin with. Okay, all right. Well, I'm just going to start with the premise that America was founded with freedom and liberty in mind. And you do kind of create what you believe, for good or for bad. So I'm going to go with that because that is, the evidence of such is pretty great. So the real capital of the United States of America is Philadelphia. Liberty Bell, all that stuff. We were there a few years ago before the Great Reset happened. And it's awesome. It felt very, I don't know, you could almost feel the spirit of liberty there. And then we also went to Washington, D.C. on that same trip. And it was less of a vibe to me of liberty. It was more just stiff and hard. It was beautiful, like seriously, it was beautiful. But it did have this feeling of stiffness. Anyways, so the corporatized capital of the United States is Washington, D.C., which is its own entity. You want to have American liberties? Don't go to Washington, D.C. You don't have liberty there. You don't. You're in a totally different nation and ruled by overlords that don't love people. I'm sure there are some people that do, but careful, because when you go to Washington, D.C., you're ceding your rights as an American. So, just there it is. That's a little piece of information for you. And I believe the original republic of each state is, let's see, the Republic of California. Okay, I can't remember which one's which, but California state is different than the state of California. I believe, or in whatever state, insert whatever state you want. I believe that California state is probably the republic, is probably the original entity that still exists. Same with Utah state. And that the state of Utah is the corporatized name of the fake takeover, the co-opting of our republic. And it's happened on almost every level. Again, I'd be curious to find out about those 10 states that have their original capitals. I'd be curious to find out if their corporatization of their state has different paperwork. It just legally is different. I don't know. So, take that information, put it in your pocket, ruminate on that for a bit, think about the implications of such information, and get back to me with your thoughts on what that could mean for us as we the people, because we the people have been slacking. As a overall rule, we are lazy, we are apathetic, we are uncaring. You might be like, Laura, no, I'm a patriot. Just like there's fake Christians in the Bible when Jesus calls them out as, oh, ye hypocrites, and telling the fake Christians, I never knew you. It's the same thing with patriots. Patriots who believe they are real patriots. They believe they are patriotic to the country, but they've never read the Constitution. They don't really understand liberty. They don't really understand. Holy crap. Look at these UPS trucks behind me. Just a big old formation of them. I don't know if it's getting anything because it's so bright out here. Isn't that interesting? All those trucks. I don't know if you could see that, but kind of fun. Anyways, forgot what I was saying. Corporate. Maybe it's good that I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. This is the Laura Yoga Mind, I call it. This is how I go day to day. I do tend to forget things. I'm very reliable. So if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm usually there, and I'm usually there right on time, or maybe a minute or two late, but not when I'm teaching, not when I'm working. So I can pull it together, but in general, I'm a little like a squirrel, like, oh, what's over there? And I go over there. So sorry, I know that's obnoxious sometimes, But I'm trying to think of where I was before I went off about the UPS trucks. So not a big deal because they're just leaving the factory place to go deliver stuff. Not that exciting. Anyways, we the people. We the people have dropped the ball for the most part, but if you look at the American Revolution, the narrative, whether this was true or not, I haven't done the deep dive myself, but the narrative is that it only took 3% of the population to create that revolution. Look at the Boston Tea Party. I bet that was just a handful of people. I don't know, like 20. It doesn't take a lot of people. When you're doing something honorable, even though it might be illegal, like throwing tea into the harbor, when you're doing something honorable, people can feel that. People notice that. And a lot of times people just simply need an example. They need a leader. They need somebody who's going to be like, you guys, this is wrong. We need to do something about this. We can't just keep sitting back and letting this happen. Our state has been co-opted. Our state has been corrupted. Our politics have been corrupted. It's so gross. It's so gross. I don't know how you can be in politics and be like, put on a happy face. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You guys are all liars. Everything is not fine. Everything is pretty awful. Yes, there are good things. I don't want to ever discount the good things that are happening, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be any better off just putting the next guy in. The guy who believes in liberty. He's just going to go into the same system of corruption. We have to get in and change the system from its core, from the root. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time. We're running on a hamster wheel, not doing anything, not going anywhere. What's the point? What's the point of getting somebody like me, who's really passionate about this and really studied up on it, in a city council, in a county commission, as a legislator? What's the point? All I would have to do is bow down to the system that I'm in, sell my soul, take away my fellow neighbor's liberty on a regular basis, and have all the excuses for why I have to do it. It's no doubt, it's no wonder why every single elected official sells us out. They all turn. Whether we like it or not, there are some really good ones who are doing the best they can in a system that is gross. And there's only so much they can do. It's up to us. Quit this whole obsession with electing the right people. The election system in and of itself is fake. We don't have elections. You think they're not manipulating our elections? That's laughable. Why do you think we have these mail-in ballots? Why wouldn't we just go? Why don't we do what, is it Italy? I don't know. Some country where they do their thumbprint. I don't necessarily say I'm a fan of that, but what? Voting should be a big deal. You should have to, go out of your way. It should be a national event, perhaps, where, we make it like a holiday. I don't know. I don't think it should be as easy as just filling out a little form on your counter and sticking it into your mailbox. I don't. We're so lazy. Anyway, okay, I gotta let me know if you're sick of my rants. I've been so busy with homeschooling and helping out other people in my life that I haven't had a lot of time to focus on the dreams that I want to accomplish. But at some point I'm going to, and let me know your thoughts about where this leads to, this knowledge about our fake corporatized capitals and our original capitals that are still our capitals. All right.